The fact that Diamond Gaulis was photographed standing outside the World Trade Center with a stiletto and runs a syndicated program called Plague Mass, which is initial PM for the sorcerer behind it, Paul McCartney, isn't going to get any airplay. But the anthrax was clearly from the people who started AIDS and the leadership of the AIDS movement, the perverts in Seattle, collecting, keeping things secret, and torturing people, trying to normalize the spread of AIDS, saying, you have to touch me. Why don't you want to touch me? And all of the psychopathy that came with Cornel West is the people who did it. And you're not allowed to say that. They'll stick you. They use COVID, they poisoned me in the mouth. What they had in mind was building an internal Gaza through a logical system that came from the Tanya Hughes Confederate Wattenmaker, who was in Attica State Prison, and they hand bribed some Black Panthers and stuff who were obviously easy to get in on it because they wanted to hurt white people, really get white people. And they dangled me like a fish before the seal, go, okay, we'll help you. Well, the internal Gaza program was basically the idea that they you have to understand that they spread the drugs to poison people, and then the people who were poisoned were disposed to become addicted. And then they poisoned them again and said, you're your own worst enemy. It's your fault that we had to poison you. We had to poison you because you're genetically an addict. You're subhuman, and all the other things Israelis say about Gaza. And so this internal Gaza program, it was called the MK Ultra, was used on after Kennedy and King were murdered. It was used on their movement to blow away the peace movement with the help of British guitarists. And the mob scene that developed around the assassins like Ringo Starr developed from Vichy Confederate. Vichy was French when occupied by Nazi Germany. The guru elect of both movements, Nazi Vichy and the Rolling Stones, was a man named Gurdiev. Now, when Gurdjieff teamed up with R.D. Laing, the author of Knots, you got the perilous situation of Seattle queers saying nobody gets out of here alive, which is what Seattle did. They blew on the flames, spread the virus, refused to warn anybody because warning people would have saved lives. We don't want that. No, we want to normalize it and turn it into an internal Gaza where nobody gets out of here alive. That's what they did. You can't break the knot of sadism that cranks at you when you get into Peter Gabriel. When you get into Peter Gabriel, there's a knot of sadism that cranks at you, and you cannot escape it. David Bowie, ever circling skeleton family. That's the fact of that. That's the end of the discussion. They were criminally insane, and they did it deliberately. Okay. End of discussion on that matter. Okay, now what happened when R.D. Laing and Gurdjieff got together was simple. They did it. They did it to children. They created a pornographic genocide where you were tortured if you didn't give your sex life as a child to these adult brutalizers. Came around saying, take this, it's good. Take this, it's good. You take it, motherfucker. I'll beat your brains in. They literally said that. Literally. Now, if you look at what they then said was R.D. Laing, the weasel of R.D. Laing and Gurdjieff's synthesis was named Robert Fripp, and he went around parading the image of Gail Burstyn in 1979. playing this song he claims was found on. It is not your house, it is your house. It is not your house, it is your house. You see the idea of a dialectical where the same person is contradicting themselves is what they intone over this bloodbath of this internal Gaza. They say, it is not because of John Lennon, it is because of John Lennon. It is not because of John Lennon, it is because of John Lennon. It is not because of John Lennon, it is not because of John Lennon. And that's the R.D. Laing Gurdiev synthesis that is at the heart and soul of this nightmare weaselry from the British Empire.